Alpine's Hemp Company. Gummies, seltzers, syrups, and more. Treat yourself to the best.
I'm Rob Eastwood here on the WHKY News. Let's take a look back now at some of the top crime stories that we had for you during the week of November 10th through the 14th.
31-year-old Troy Lynn Shook of Hager Church Loop in Stony Point was arrested Saturday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony counts of first-degree rape by force and felonious restraint. Shook was incarcerated in the Caldwell County Detention Center under no bond. A Monday district court date was scheduled. And a Rayford woman charged with fleeing from police, 47-year-old Susan Lynn Comstock of the Hoke County city of Rayford, North Carolina, was arrested Friday on charges filed in Caldwell County. She's charged with felony counts of flee to elude arrest with a motor vehicle and larceny. Comstock was released on $12,500 secured bond. A district court date was scheduled for November 10th. Reporting for WHKY, I'm Ariana Mack.
More details have been released regarding an arrest in a cocaine trafficking case. 31-year-old Tashawn Thomas Bird of First Street Southwest in Hickory was arrested by authorities in Catawba County. He's charged with trafficking in cocaine by possession and transport, along with single counts of felony maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for controlled substance, possession of a weapon of mass destruction, and carrying a concealed gun. WHKY previously reported on Bird's arrest. More details have been released. On Wednesday, November 5th, narcotics investigators with the Catawba County Sheriff's Office conducted a vehicle stop involving a suspect in an ongoing cocaine trafficking investigation. During a search of the vehicle, police seized approximately 291 grams of cocaine, 2 Draco firearms, and 1 pistol. As part of the ongoing investigation, investigators also executed a search warrant at an apartment in Hickory, where they seized approximately 4.83 grams of cocaine, 1 Draco firearm, and 1 pistol. The suspect, Bird, was arrested and charged. He was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $400,000 bond. A district court appearance is set for November 24th. The investigation is continuing.
A Taylorsville man back behind bars. Authorities in Alexander County arrested 36-year-old Michael Christopher Schiffer on Thursday, November 6th for a felony parole violation. Fisher is a registered sex offender convicted back in 2010 on 2 counts of first and second-degree kidnapping involving a minor. He's now being held in the Alexander County Detention Center without bond. In nearby Iredell counties, deputies arrested 40-year-old Zachary Thomas Noble of Stony Point. He is charged with felony possession of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. The arrest happened on October 25th. Noble was booked into the Iredell County Detention Center under a $4,000 secure bond. He's due back in court on November 17th. I'm David Cedrone for WHKY News.
A man previously charged with child abuse in connection to the death of a child has now been charged with murder. The child's mother has now been charged in the case as well. The Hudson Police Department released an update Monday night. 22-year-old Thomas Lee Bryant of Morganton was arrested November 4th by Hudson police officers. He was initially charged with felony child abuse inflicting serious injury. Officers with the Hudson Police Department responded to a residence on Hickman Avenue where an assault involving a 4-year-old child took place. Upon arrival, officers determined that the juvenile had sustained serious injuries allegedly inflicted by an adult male who had been entrusted with babysitting the child. The child passed away at a trauma center. During the investigation, it was determined that Bryant was under a court-ordered condition of release prohibiting any contact with the child. Despite this, Bryant was asked to care for the child by the child's mother, 24-year-old Denacia Alexandra Booker, while she was at work that morning. During the incident, the subsequent investigation, Booker provided false information in an effort to conceal the circumstances of who was caring for the child. These actions contributed to a delay in the child receiving first aid. On Monday, Booker was arrested and charged with felony child abuse. Bond was set at $1 million. Bryant has now been charged with murder. He is now being held in the Caldwell County Detention Center without without bond. Stay tuned to WHKY.com. I'm Ariana Mack. A man is charged with stealing a backhoe. 30-year-old Brett Michael Myers of Statesville was arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony possession of stolen property and misdemeanor resist, obstruct, and delay an officer. On Thursday, deputies with the Iredell County Sheriff's Office were called to Peppercorn Lane in Statesville after a report about what police call unusual finds: a John Deere backhoe on a trailer and several other items left abandoned in a field. When deputies arrived, they confirmed the equipment had been stolen from Mecklenburg County just a few weeks earlier. Detectives with the Criminal Investigations Division came out to process the scene and gather evidence. While detectives were working, a vehicle entered the area but quickly tried to leave after spotting law enforcement. Deputies stopped the car and identified the driver as Brett Michael Myers. After talking with detectives, Myers admitted he was there to pick up the stolen backhoe and property. He was arrested and charged. Myers was taken before Magistrate Thompson, who gave him no bond on the felony charge. He was placed in the Iredell County Detention Center. The investigation is ongoing and additional charges may follow. Stay tuned to WHKY.com. I'm Ariana Mack reporting for WHKY.
Well, thanks, Rob. Good evening. 2 Taylorsville residents are facing felony charges in separate arrests this week. First up, 43-year-old Matthew Titus Torrance was arrested by Iredell County deputies. He is charged with felony possession of cocaine and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. Deputies took Torrance into custody on October 31st near the intersection of Original Drive and Lippard Farm Road in Statesville. He's no longer listed as an inmate in Iredell County Detention Center. His next court date is scheduled for December 12th in Statesville. In a separate case, 31-year-old Kirsten Ashley Dawn Smith, also of Taylorsville, arrested Friday, November 7th by Taylorsville police. She is charged with felony obtaining property by false pretense. Smith was booked into the Alexander County Detention Center with her first court appearance set for Monday, November 10th. I'm David Cedrone for WHKY News.
That's correct, Rob. A wanted man is being sought on multiple charges. 24-year-old Lucas William Smith is wanted on charges including felony counts of possession of fentanyl, possession of controlled substance on prison or jail premises, along with 2 counts of felony probation violation. He's also charged with misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. The last known address listed for Smith is 7155 Oak Ridge Church Road in Connolly Springs. Anyone with information as to their whereabouts is urged to contact the Sheriff's Office at 828-438-5500 or Burke Sheriff at burkenc.org. I'm Ariana Mack reporting for WHKY. A man is charged with assaulting a person with a disability. 29-year-old Kendall Lorian Lineberger, who is listed as a homeless person, was arrested Tuesday by authorities in Catawba County. He's charged with assault on an individual with a disability and assault with a deadly weapon, inflicting serious injury. Lineberger was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond. No court date was listed. Also, a Lenoir man is charged with fleeing from police. 30-year-old Jonathan Howard Ward was arrested Sunday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony flee to elude arrest with a motor vehicle and possession of a stolen motor vehicle. Ward is also charged with misdemeanor counts of assault with a deadly weapon and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. He was jailed under $16,000 secured bond. No court date was listed. And a Burke County man has been charged with felony theft in Catawba County. 48-year-old Jamie Lester Lynn, who is listed as a homeless resident of Burke County, was arrested Tuesday by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony larceny. Lynn was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $5,000 bond. A district court date was scheduled for Thursday. I'm Ariana Mack reporting for WHKY.
A Hickory man who was reportedly caught with brass knuckles and cocaine faces charges in Iredell County. 30-year-old Brock Mackey Towery was arrested Sunday by Troutman police. He's charged with possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and carrying a concealed weapon. At approximately 1:35 a.m. Sunday, officers conducted a traffic stop on South Main Street near Cedar Lane in Troutman. During the stop, a passenger in the vehicle, Towery, was reportedly found in possession of cocaine and brass knuckles. Towery is also facing a possession of drug paraphernalia charge in Catawba County. He has court dates in both Iredell and Catawba counties December 2nd.
The Burke County Sheriff's Office is asking the public's help finding a woman wanted in multiple break-in and theft charges. Deputies say 36-year-old Annie Mae Strickland is wanted on several felony counts, including breaking and entering, larceny of a firearm, larceny of a motor vehicle, and larceny after breaking and entering. She's also facing misdemeanor larceny charge. Her last known address, 5151 Coffee Drive in Morganton. Investigators say she also may go by the name of Annie Mae Huffman. Anyone who knows the whereabouts of Huffman should contact the Burke County Sheriff's Office. The phone number is 828-438-5500, or you can email burkesheriff@burkenc.org. In a separate case, 37-year-old Jared Grant Bryant, who police say is homeless, was arrested today by Hickory police officers. He is charged with habitual larceny and second-degree trespass. Bryant is being held at the Catawba County Detention Facility under no bond, and the district court date has been set for November 17th. Both cases remain under investigation. I'm David Cedrone for WHKY News. In Iredell County, a Stony Point man is facing several drug charges after an arrest earlier this month. Deputies say 32-year-old Joseph James Morrison was taken into custody on November 2nd. He is charged with felony possession of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. Morrison was booked into the Iredell County Detention Center under a $31,000 bond. His next court appearance is set for November 18th. And in Caldwell County, a Hudson man is accused of stealing vehicle parts. Deputies arrested 38-year-old Brandon Scott Harris on Tuesday. He is charged with felony larceny of motor vehicle parts. Harris was released on a $10,000 secure bond, and he's due back in court on November 12th. I'm David Cedrone for WHKY News.
U.S. Attorney Russ Ferguson today released a summary of notable prosecutions and enforcement actions pursued during the recent lapse in federal appropriations. One of the convictions involved an individual who trafficked fentanyl in and around Catawba County and sold the drug to a teenager who died as a result of an overdose. 26-year-old Madison Dare Winslow of Lincolnton was recently sentenced to 15 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. According to court records and the sentencing hearing, Winslow was trafficking fentanyl in and around Catawba County. On February 14th of 2022, Winslow sold fentanyl-laced pills to a 17-year-old that were pressed to appear as prescription pills containing oxycodone hydrochloride. On February 16th of 2022, the minor ingested one or more of the pills sold to him by Winslow, causing the victim to fatally overdose. The cause of the victim's death was fentanyl toxicity. Law enforcement interviewed Winslow regarding her connection with the victim's fatal overdose. She admitted to selling the pills to the victim and to knowing that the pills likely contained fentanyl. Winslow continued to traffic fentanyl after that, despite knowing the drugs she was selling were linked to a fatal overdose. On April 4th of 2022, law enforcement conducted a traffic stop of Winslow's vehicle. It was determined Winslow possessed 60 pills pressed to appear as oxycodone hydrochloride, later determined to contain fentanyl. On February 13th of this year, Winslow pleaded guilty in federal court to distribution of fentanyl. She is serving her sentence at Federal Correctional Institution in Estill, South Carolina. In making the announcement, U.S. Attorney Ferguson thanked the Maiden Police Department and the Catawba County Sheriff's Office for their investigation of this case. U.S. District Judge Kenneth D. Bell today sentenced 64-year-old Luke Andrew Hemond of Hickory to 121 months in prison for possession of child sexual abuse material. In addition to the prison term imposed, Judge Bell ordered Hemond to serve a lifetime under court supervision. According to filed court documents and the sentencing hearing today, Hemond was on probation for a prior conviction of attempted sexual assault while armed in Arizona. On March 20th of 2024, officers conducted a search of Heman's residence to ensure compliance with his probation conditions and sex offender registry laws. During the search, law enforcement found an SD card in Heman's bedroom that contained images depicting the sexual assault of minors. After finding the SD card, court records show that law enforcement obtained and executed a search warrant seizing all electronic devices from the residence. A forensic review of the devices revealed that Heman possessed thousands of images depicting children that were nude, children being sexually abused, and at least one image of child bondage. On May 27th of this year, Heman entered a guilty plea to possession of child pornography that involved a prepubescent minor and a minor who had not attained 12 years of age. You can get more details on the case by going to our website, WHKY.com. A fatal shooting involving juveniles is under investigation. Monday, shortly before 2 a.m., officers with the Lincolnton Police Department were dispatched to Huss Street after being told that an individual had been shot. Upon arrival, officers learned 2 juvenile males from Lincolnton allegedly were committing vehicle break-ins in the area. At some point, the juveniles were confronted and one was shot by a resident during an encounter in the resident's backyard. The juvenile victim was transported to the hospital by Lincoln County EMS. He passed away as a result of his injuries a few days later. The juveniles are suspects in multiple vehicle break-ins in the area that have occurred over the past week. No charges have been filed at this time. The incident is still under investigation by the Lincolnton Police Department. Call 704-736-8900 if you have any information.
A Catawba County man has been charged with meth possession and larceny. 22-year-old William Scott Willis of Harrell Road in Catawba was arrested Wednesday by authorities in Iredell County. He's charged with felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance and 2 counts of misdemeanor larceny. Willis was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $7,500 bond. District court dates were scheduled for Wednesday and January 12th. And a Taylorsville man charged with probation violation in Catawba County, 45-year-old Elliot Ray Adkins of Park Lane in Taylorsville, was arrested Wednesday by probation and parole officers. He's charged with felony probation violation out of county. Adkins is on probation as a result of a conviction in February 2025 in Lincoln County for felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance. He received probation and a 12-month suspended sentence. Following the arrest, Adkins was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $2,000 bond. A district court date is scheduled for December 18th. I'm Ariana Mack reporting for WHKY.
22-year-old Joshua James Thomas Swanson of Northeast Meadowwood Drive was arrested Thursday by Lenoir police. He was charged with second-degree murder. On September 13th, shortly after 11 p.m., Lenoir police responded to a single vehicle crash in the 700 block of Seahorn Street. The investigation revealed that a 2018 Ford Mustang driven by Swanson left the roadway and struck a tree. A front seat passenger, 21-year-old Mikola Olgovic Zerbakov of Hickory, and a backseat passenger were in the vehicle at the time of the crash. Swanson and Zerbakov were airlifted to Atrium Carolinas Medical Center in Charlotte for treatment. The other passenger was treated and released from the scene. On September 16th, Zerbakov died as a result of injuries sustained in the crash. Swanson was later treated and released from the hospital. Officers determined Swanson was operating the vehicle in a careless and reckless manner and was impaired at the time of the crash. He was placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center without bond. A court date is scheduled Monday in Lenoir. A Burke County man has been sentenced to a minimum of more than 30 years in prison in a case involving sex offenses with a child. A jury returned a guilty verdict for 56-year-old Cornelius Sylvanus Burnett of Connolly Springs to conclude a week-long trial in Burke County Superior Court. The verdict was returned on Monday. The Honorable Gary Gavinis Superior Court judge from Yancey County imposed an active prison sentence of 35 to 51 years for Burnett after the jury reached its verdict on charges of statutory sex offense and 6 counts of taking indecent liberties with a child. Investigation by the Burke County Sheriff's Office revealed that Burnett engaged in sexual acts with the minor victim over a period of time. The victim reported the acts to a friend who told a school guidance counselor about the sexual abuse. The Burke County Department of Social Services removed the child from the situation as the investigation unfolded, and the Burke County Children's Advocacy Center conducted a forensic interview with the victim.
Well, Caldwell County deputies have arrested a Granite Falls couple on multiple felony charges. 52-year-old Clinton Richard Hamby and 63-year-old Alice Faye Hamby, both from Dry Ponds Road, taken into custody Wednesday, November 12th. Deputies say Clinton Hamby is charged with felony aiding and abetting and possession of controlled substance inside a penal institution. Allison Hamby faces a felony larceny by employee involving more than $100,000, along with possession of methamphetamine inside a local confinement facility. Both were booked into the Caldwell County Detention Center under $25,000 secure bond apiece. They were scheduled to appear in a Lenoir courtroom today. And over in Hickory, police arrested a local woman Thursday on drug-related charges. 41-year-old Brandy Nicole Maddie was taken into custody November 13th. Hickory police say she is charged with possession with intent to sell and deliver counterfeit controlled substance. Maddie was booked into the Catawba County Detention Facility under a $1,500 bond. She also had a district court appearance scheduled for today, November 14th. I'm David Cedrone for WHKY News.
This has been our weekly review of some of the crime stories we had for you during the week of November 10th through the 14th. The weekly summary is posted every Saturday on the WHKY YouTube channel, along with our top stories, the crime report, local sports, and community focus. I'm Rob Eastwood, and thank you for watching the WHKY News.